So Texas,
Off the 405 at 605.
Texas's concern is the offensive line. They said their strength, or reason for optimism, is just their defense. I mean, their defense is loaded.
Yeah, it's going to be nasty.
Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill, all those guys. For Oregon, what's funny is, I don't remember if it was yesterday or maybe it was last week, we talked about how one article had the reason for concern for Oregon being the defensive front.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they have for optimism here.
Yeah, I like their defensive front. To me, the weird part is this is an offensive team always. To me, the bigger concern's on the offensive side of the ball. I think the defense is going to be fine. The only question I have about the defense is, in the Dan Lanning era, and I think this is kind of a Tosh Lapoy thing, when they lose, their defense gets torched. In fact, I think Dan Lanning is undefeated when the defense has given up. I think it's 34 or 32.
That's right. If the defense gives up less than 34 points, Dan Lanning's never lost.
So when they have lost games, their defense has been cooked in big games. Even in the win against Ohio State, the defense kind of got cooked.
32-31 final.
So the biggest question to me with the defense is not, it's just in those big moments when you're playing Penn State, maybe UW, USC at the end of the year when you get into the playoff. Against the big teams, can you get a game where if your offense stalls out, can you win a game 21-17? Can you win a game 28-24? But I think the defense is the strength. To me, the bigger question is just a receiver. If I had to say one thing, quarterback and receiver, because we don't know about Dante Moore, despite what Yogi Roth tells you. He watched one practice. We don't know that he's going to be the second coming. You would assume that after 3 years of some of the best quarterback play in the country, between Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel, which are just two of the most veteran guys you'll ever see in modern college football. Both those guys started 1,000 games. It's incredible. There should be a drop-off. Maybe by the end of the year, Moore is playing, or Novosad, whoever ends up being the guy, it's insane, ends up being this great guy, but there is going to be a step back in quarterback play. And I do think it's questionable that right now your returning receiver, dude, he has 6 catches. You're counting on DeCorian Moore to be an absolute stud, to be kind of the big playmaker guy. But we've seen freshmen from Ryan Williams to Jeremiah Smith. We've seen freshman receivers make big impacts, but I do think it's asking a lot with a brand new quarterback, a very unproven receiving core. That is a much bigger question to me. I feel infinitely better about the Ducks defense and the front seven than I do about the quarterback wide receiver room for Oregon.
So their reason for optimism, the front seven, they think that there is so much talent there that they can offset the attrition and the losses of Harmon. And
especially of Bear Alexander. And I know he doesn't have the best reputation. They have done a nice job of getting transfers to light a fire under their ass. See Derek Harmon. And if
Jordan Birch was one too.
Birch was. And if they can find the on switch for Bear Alexander and your front is Uyunglele, Amore Washington, and Bear Alexander,
you're in good shape.
You're in good shape. You're going to be doing just fine. And you've got a bunch of studs running around back there behind him and 2 guys on the edge that are really good. So I really like that front.
And their concern is wide receiver depth.
Yes.
After the Evan Stewart injury. So, and that's one that everyone's pointing to.
Yeah. That's and I think early on, it wouldn't surprise me if this is a run heavy offense, and then Sadiq will probably be the breakout star. I think he will be a guy that's going to be featured a lot, especially in the run game with the play action.
So just real quick, if you're wondering about Ohio State, since they play Texas, reason for optimism: the passing game won't lose a beat.
Yeah, that's saying Will Howard didn't.
Well, you have Jeremiah Smith, just throw it to him.
That is true.
And the concern is,
when in doubt,
it still relies on saying though.
Yeah, kind of. I think I could throw it to Jeremiah Smith, and he.
True, but if their quarterback sucks, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
Well, don't you think I would suck? My point is, I can throw it to Jeremiah Smith, and he gets 90 catches.
So
that guy's unbelievable.
Some people can throw it to Jeremiah Smith better than others. See Will Howard.
Well, and you got
saying
and you got Carnell Tate. I think they got a freshman. It's like Porter or something that they're saying. By the way, buckle up, he's going to be another one.
Somebody pointed this out today, and it is true. They have the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the country.
Yeah, and Caleb Downs and
Jeremiah Smith and Caleb. Jeremiah Smith is the receiver. Yep. Caleb Downs is the defensive back. Yep. But their area of concern is the defensive line. They say it's probably going to be fine, but it's one of the bigger question marks because of all of their losses.
Yeah. They lost both of their stud edges, and it's not a young group. It's all sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So it doesn't have the breakout stars that Ohio State has, but I was reading that their hope is that there may not be one singular star, but it's a lot of solid guys that have some miles under their belt.